Hello. Today there's news that the United Nations has firmly condemned China and with respect to the Uyghurs. Now, in the late 1980s, a friend of mine, Richard Hearing, made a very, very interesting documentary in China, and he caught some very alarming footage, including footage of a summary execution, which was actually not part of the final broadcast. But I remember discussing this very firmly with him at the time, and so I've been aware of the Uyghur problem for a while, and there's no doubt that there was torture and brutality on the streets at that point, and that this has continued. No doubt at all. So the UN yesterday or this morning condemned China of serious human rights violations with respect to the Uyghurs, and this was met with diplomatic responses that this was farcical and incredible. This is not the case, as diplomats assert. It's that there is continued credible evidence of atrocity. As for arbitrary detention, I'm sure. Patterns of ill treatment, certainly. But what's of perhaps more interest to me today than whether China accepts the ruling of the UN or indeed wishes to change is that Mr. Putin is planning exactly the same sort of thing. Mr. Putin is planning to create adaptation centers, and indeed there's at least hints that these already exist. These are put forward by a man called Igor Barinov, who runs the Federal Agency for Nationalization, or Federal Agency for Nationalities, or something anyway, FAFN. To ensure consistency and that there are no changes to what are called the ethno-cultural landscape, and to diminish what is called ethno-criminality. Putin, in fact, goes even further, and he believes that these centres should now be sited in the home countries of future migrants. No one minds, he says. No one objects, he says. In Uzbekistan, in Tajikistan, in Kyrgyzstan. In fact, they gladly do it. They do it. They do it. Have we got the verb correct there? They do it. Is it already done? That's the impression given from what Putin has actually said, though I don't see any evidence of these centres so far. But what Mr. Putin has said is that they already do it. So Russia is copying China already.